Alright, yo, welcome to my channel. My name is Jamal. I review tech here. So yeah, let's get into today's review of the day. So today's episode is going to be about the Liberty 2 Pros, which is a pair of truly wireless earphones that are very popular. Actually, I've seen a lot of reviews. I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of articles on the internet about these particular earphones, and people talking about whether you should get them or not, whether they're better than the AirPod Pros, whether they're better than the Galaxy Buds Plus, and etc. So I'm going to give my review, and I'm going to show you guys what I think about them and how I feel about these earphones. So to start with the video, I'm going to start with the cons. Now, before I get into the cons, actually, I'm going to say that these earphones are actually really good. Like, the sound quality is good. And when I'm talking about these cons, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying these are things that they can improve on and they can do better, maybe in the next iteration. But yeah, let's get into the cons. So the first con that I have is the connectivity. So now when I say connectivity, I mean like how it connects to your phone and other devices via Bluetooth. Now, for me personally, I don't just use a pair of earphones or a Bluetooth speaker or whatever it is. I don't just use that on one device. I use it on many devices, such as my computer, my tablet, my phone. I use the same device across many other devices. So for these earphones, I've noticed that there's some like weird issues when you're going back and forth between devices. Like, for instance, when I'm using these earphones on my phone, it'll be connected to my phone. The first initial pairing process is good. I'm using it on my phone for some time, and then I want to switch to my iPad and maybe watch some Netflix on my iPad. Now, when I click on my iPad, usually with other devices, I've had no issue with this, where you connect it to one device and then you go on the other device that you want to use into the Bluetooth settings, and then you choose that device which you already paired with before, and then you just click to connect. So with these ones now, when I'm doing that process, it's showing up as unsuccessful or it's just not working. And for me, that's very clunky and very like slow, because then I have to like actually manually either turn off my phone's Bluetooth and then connect to my iPad, or I have to hold the button on the back and kind of like repair the earphones. And that's very like unnecessary, and it gets in the way. It cuts into like my workflow and whatever I'm doing. So it's not that smooth. And yeah, that's just something that I don't enjoy. And I also noticed that like when you connect these particular earphones to a device and pair it up for the first time, it also creates two wireless devices. So it shows up as its name, Liberty 2 Pro, and then it shows up as Liberty 2 Pro left side. So I think that that's also really weird, and it takes up like another slot in your Bluetooth menu, and it's just very clunky. And when you're trying to use one earphone, like you put one in your ear, put one back in the case, there's like a bit of a pause. Sometimes the music stops. It's not seamless. And then when you're adding that in combination with using it amongst multiple devices, like a computer, a tablet, and the phone, it's a mess. Like, it takes a lot of unnecessary time. And I know I've been talking about this for quite a bit right now, but I'm very passionate about this topic, and I think that affects your workflow like significantly. To have to stop for 30 seconds to figure out why it's not connecting, and then that 30 seconds can easily become like another 5 minutes, depending on how bad the issues are for that particular moment. So yeah, that's the first con. Very long, but let's get into the next one. The next con is the white noise. So now, I know this is something that like a lot of wireless earphones and headphones, over the air headphones, they experience. There's always this white noise. And what I've noticed is that when your device activates, or like say you're listening to something on your phone, as soon as you press like start audio, even if there's nothing playing, or your volume is down to low, your earphones or your headphones, whatever you're using, will turn on. And then depending on the device, that will activate. It's kind of like a white noise sound where you just hear this subtle noise. And of course, like depending on which device you're using, it'll be a different how strong it is, like how loud it is. And even if it's there, like I think some devices do it really well, like the Galaxy Buds Plus do that really well. I don't really hear the white noise. With these ones though, it's very strong. I know that like based on research, I was reading other people's comments and complaints about the earphones, and that this is an issue that the company has acknowledged, I think, in some way, and they made an iteration 2. But unfortunately, I got sent the iteration 1s, and I've also seen online that people are still having this white noise issue on the iteration 2s. So I don't know if it's a software thing or if it's a hardware thing, but just note that like these things have a very strong it's not like it won't ruin your listening experience. Of course that depends on the person, right? How sensitive your ears are to these type of things. But it is something to take note. Like, it is something that will always be there when you're using these. I notice that sometimes it goes away, but then sometimes, like, depending on what your device you're using on, it will stay there the whole time. Like, I've noticed with my iMac, my computer, right, when I connect with these earphones to my computer, that white noise is always there, regardless of if it's using the sound or not. And usually when you connect with these devices, the device kind of like shuts off the sound drivers when it's not being used by the device. But I've noticed with my computer, it is always on for some reason. I don't know if that's like the computer always accessing the sound driver in your earphones, but yeah, it's always there. So that's kind of annoying. I kind of have to, sometimes I just have to take them out of my ear when I'm not using them, and then put them back in my ear when I'm using them, or I want to watch a YouTube video or something like that. So that is something very important to notice, that the white noise is very prevalent on these earphones, and that could make or break your experience depending on who you are. So yeah, the next con is the bulky design. So like, I really do like how these things look from like a aesthetic point of view, but these things are pretty bulky compared to other truly wireless earphones. And yeah, like they're not small. They're not small, the smallest things in the world. When you put them in the air, they're very prevalent and strong. And the case is also pretty bulky. If you put it in your pocket, you can kind of feel it. It's like an oval egg type of shape thing, and it's just bigger than like competitors, right? The AirPods and the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Bud Plus. So yeah, the bulky design is a con. So now the last con is the lack of sound separation. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but these earphones are really good in terms of sound quality. They sound really nice. The bass is good. It's very rich. It's colorful, but there's a lack of sound separation. You can't like hear too much of like where instruments are and how the artists, or even the video, when you're watching videos or movies, like you can't like necessarily identify like the separate sound waves or the way that people mixed their audio too clear. Like you can't really see that well. And for me, that's something that I really enjoy when I'm listening to music. I like to hear the separate sounds. I like to hear like what the artist has put in the front of the sound, or at the top or the bottom, however you want to look at it. I feel like these headphones don't really do a very good job. Like, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, they're very good, but it's not like an amazing job at like separating the sound. And if that's something that you're looking for, these are not the headphones for you. So yeah, those are the main cons of these earphones. And yeah, like I said, they're not bad by far. They're really good, I think, but they do have some small things that you got to consider before buying them. And now we're going to get into the pros. So let's get into it. So for the first pro is the sound quality. So now when I mean the sound quality is good, I mean like as soon as you get these earphones and you take them out the box, you put them in your ears for the first time, pair it up with your phone, they sound really good. The sound is a lot better than other earphones straight out the box, without equalizing and playing around with the app that it comes with, or that you download from the Play Store or the App Store. So yeah, the sound quality is just good. It has a very colorful sound. It's very vibrant. It's very, upbeat. You feel it. Like, so one thing about the bass in particular for me is that it's not like over powerful. Like, it's not strong. It's not the best bass by far in earphones, truly wireless earphones. But I really like the way that this bass sounds in these ones, because it's just like it's like a subtle like oomph, like a punch in your chest or in your ear or whatever. Like, you feel it, but it's not like super strong like something else, that some other earphones that probably have a way better bass. Like, I don't think it's the best bass, but I do like the bass. I think it's a very particular sound when it comes to bassiness and just a feel of bassiness. That's something that I really enjoy. And yeah, the sound quality overall is really good out the box. And then the next pro that I have for these is actually the battery life. Now, the battery life is 8 hours of playtime, and then 32 hours in total when you put it back in the case and recharge. Yeah, and it's just like you won't have no problem getting through a whole day. And 8 hours is like what, like a whole shift of work. So like, you're working 9 to 5. If you're allowed to listen to music the whole time, then these earphones will not disappoint you in terms of lasting the whole shift. And then you put them back in the case, and they recharge really fast. So then by the time you're getting on the bus or you're in your car or whatever it is, and you want to pop these back in, they're ready to go again. That will probably last you your whole ride until you get home. So yeah, battery life is a very good pro. So the next pro that I have for these earphones is the case design. Now I know that I said the case is a bit bulky and the design overall is bulky, but I do like it aesthetically. It's just I like what they did. Like, I like how it looks. It has the logo on the front. It's very subtle. It's a nice gray color, and then the logo and the words on it is just very subtle. It's not like standing out. It's not like a strong color coming off of the other color or contrast, but it's just very subtle and nice. Like, I like it. It's very smooth. Even the way that you flip up the case, like open it, that's very satisfying, to be honest. Like, I've had AirPods, I've used the Galaxy Buds Plus, but I think these are probably the most satisfying truly wireless earbud cases to open up. Like, I just find myself flicking it open, flicking it open, flicking it open, closing it. And it just feels good, like, every single time. The only problem with it is that it's bulky, it's big. It takes up more space, real estate than like other truly wireless earphones and their cases. But other than that, like, I like the design. Even the earbuds themselves, the way they look in the air, I think it's pretty cool. It reminds me of like a early Bluetooth earpiece that you would see like dads or like businessmen wearing. It reminds me of that, but then on a more futuristic level. The silver looks nice, and then the white light. I think it's a cool design, but it's just bulky. That's the only issue I have with the design, that it's bulky. But aesthetics wise, it looks good. I like it. So now the next pro that I have for these earphones is the touch controls. So now a lot of headphones, a lot of truly wireless earbuds, they have like touch controls where you can pause the music, skip, activate your assistant that you're using on your phone, etc. But on these ones, instead of having a touch control, they have these buttons on the side, or like at the top of the side, and basically you press those buttons and you can do all those same functions, but just at the press of a button. Now the reason why I like these ones and why it's a pro for me is because it's a button. You can't go wrong with that. Like, with other truly wireless earphones, there's an issue of like pressing it by accident, or like, you know, it just not functioning properly or whatever it is and stuff like that. Like on the Galaxy Buds, I know when I was using those, like, I would misclick or mistouch a lot. Like, it was just very frustrating to mess up and pause your music so many times, or stop it or whatever, even disconnect maybe by accident, things like that. So with these, because it's a button, you click it, it works. You double click, it functions. You hold it, it functions. So yeah, it's a button. It's more accurate in a sense than having touch controls, unless the touch controls are done really well. But yeah, that's another pro of these. And I think that's about it. Like, those are all the pros of these headphones. There's not a lot to say, really. Like, I think that they are just generally good headphones, generally good truly wireless earbuds that you can use and actually enjoy in your daily life. And I think that they are like better than other options, maybe at a similar price, or if you catch them on sale, depending on where you are too. Like in Canada, it's like what, like $160 or something like that, and in the States, I think it's like $100. So depending on where you are, maybe that will change how much it's worth for you, or if it's better than buying something else or a different option. But yeah, for me, I think these are really good. But like I said before, in the cons, the connectivity, that thing, like the connectivity issues, that is a big thing that I can't get over. For me personally, if I can't switch between my devices, like my computer, my tablet, my phone, in the scenarios that I gave way back in the beginning of this review, if I can't do that very smoothly and, you know, just go on with my day, my workflow, that's a very big con for me, because, you know, like, it just cuts into your time, like I said before. So yeah, this has been my review of the Liberty 2 Pros, and I really hope that you guys were able to like see the goods and the bads, and, you know, weigh it for yourself and see whether or not you would want to buy these for yourself, or you would want to consider making these your main truly wireless earbuds. Hopefully you make an informed choice. Hopefully this review helped you, and hopefully you enjoyed my content. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Jamal out. Peace.